Australia is clearly in love with a dual cab ute, mostly because of their ability to work during the week and play on the weekends. But what if we have that ratio around the wrong way? What if we should be playing during the week and just working on the weekends? Or maybe just playing full stop? If so, then this is the car for you, the Jeep Gladiator.
It is the American off-road brand's first ute in almost 30 years and will be the first to officially be available in Australia when it lands in showrooms next year. While it is essentially a dual cab ute based on the latest generation JL Wrangler, it is actually so much more than that. Jeep claims it was designed from a clean sheet of paper looking to set the class benchmark in attributes such on on-road dynamics, off-road capability, towing and cargo carrying flexibility. As such, it is built on a stronger frame that has a wheelbase stretched by 497mm and measures 672mm longer in overall length than the 5-door Wrangler. Yep, it is a big ute, slotting in between popular models like the Toyota HiLux and Ford Ranger and imported heavy-duty pickups such as the Ram and Chevy Silverado.
But that means it's a little bit more useful too. It has a tray that measures 1.5 metres long, almost as wide, and has a total payload of up to 750 kilograms.
While that's not quite as much as rigid work utes, the Gladiator is designed more to cater for active lifestyles.
And as such, it has some really neat features. This lightweight aluminium tailgate has a really nice dampening to it in terms of the way it opens. There's a standard spray-in bed liner, it has an LED light, there's a household power point plug, and it has some nice sturdy tie-down points. The other thing about the Gladiator being so big is that backseat passengers aren't treated like second-class citizens. There is just as much rear space down here as the Wrangler 5-door four-wheel drive. As you can see, plenty of legroom, decent headroom. There's also twin USB outlets, rear air vents, and a household power point plug in here. And some really clever under-seat storage options. For example, lift up the rear cushion here, and you've got a couple of lockable boxes underneath the seat to keep your valuables nice and secure.
There's a countless array of accessories too to suit all manner of outdoor activities. And all Gladiators come equipped with a standard tow hitch and have a maximum brake trailer capacity just under the benchmark 3,500 kilos.
Well, a Jeep wouldn't be a Jeep if it couldn't do something like this, and we're ploughing through some pretty muddy, clay, boggy roads on the way out in the countryside here. Man, this thing is supremely capable. It's got a longer wheelbase than the Wrangler, so it's got pretty good breakover rate. It's got the Rubicon comes with steel bumpers on it with higher entry and departure angles, and of course it comes with a low range transfer case gearbox. This thing feels like it will go anywhere, get you anywhere. The good thing about this petrol engine is it's actually got a really soft throttle map to it, so you can sort of cruise through some of this really hard stuff quite easily. And the steering, well, it's got enough lock-to-lock turn in it so you can overcome some of that long wheelbase and get through some pretty tricky stuff.
And while Jeep is still finalising full details for the Gladiator lineup in Australia before it lands in the middle of next year, it is likely to mirror the Wrangler range with entry-level sport, mid-grade overland and the off-road focused Rubicon models. Each will be offered with a choice of either a 3.6 litre petrol V6 or a 3 litre turbo diesel V6 with 190 kilowatts and 600 newton meters, and paired to an 8-speed automatic with a proper low-range transfer case.
It actually is quite car-like and comfortable. It's really good over the bumps. Yes, it still skips around over them and you feel most of the ripples in the road, but it's definitely not as nervous or as twitchy as something with a leaf spring rear end in it. The electric power steering is also radically different to before, where a Wrangler used to wander all over the roads. This one now feels really sure-footed and stable. And the biggest surprise is, this thing is actually quiet on the road. Yes, the engine needs to work a little hard to overcome its 2,300 kilo weight, particularly under heavy acceleration, but it lopes along pretty effortlessly on the highway and has good pulling power for overtaking. All in all, this is a pretty comfy, cruisy car to drive.
That's all good and fine, but it wouldn't be a genuine Jeep if it couldn't tackle the rough stuff too. And in that environment, the Gladiator feels like it will go further than anything else. In top spec Rubicon form, the gnarly mud terrain tyres, front and rear diff locks, and the disconnecting front sway bars ensure it will climb like a mountain goat.
So what's the verdict on the Jeep Gladiator? Well, this is one very cool car and it makes a better family-friendly option than most other utes in its class. It drives better than any of its rivals. It's got a really spacious cabin with some clever touches inside as well as in the tray, and it's a convertible, which is unlike anything else in its class. Sure, it might not work as hard, but it definitely plays harder. And maybe we should all do that too.